But let's do Michigan State, Iowa here. Nebraska, Penn State might spend a little bit more time on, but Michigan State at Iowa. Iowa looking for revenge in this one. They're 6-4 right now, but they might be the best 6-4 team in the country, in my opinion. I know there's a lot of people out there right now kind of clowning Iowa, saying, "Oh, you brought in the $1 million quarterback and you didn't accomplish getting to the playoffs and everything like that." And listen, I am somebody that wants to see Iowa get to the playoffs as well, but we cannot act like it's playoff or bust. And every season, if you don't make the playoffs, is a failure, right? Last season, I said Michigan's season was a failure, and they went 8-5, and I got roasted for it from a lot of Michigan fans. I think you disagreed with me on that as
Hmm.
well, Zach. You
Yep.
didn't roast me for it, but you disagreed with me on it.
Yeah.
And so, but it wasn't because they didn't make the playoffs. It was because I didn't feel like the team kind of made some of the improvements under Sharon Moore that you were hoping for. This Iowa team has made the improvements that you were hoping for. Yes, Mark Gronowski has not been the best, passer in the world, but you are seeing this offense develop and become more of what you want to see. They have a really good top 10 quarterback coming in. Not a lot of people know that. There's only one team in the Big Ten that has a top 10 quarterback, according to Rivals, in 2026 coming in. Zach, did you know that one team is Iowa?
That's shocking.
Yeah, I mean, there is only one. I mean, you have Lincoln Riley in this conference, Ryan Day here, Will Stein with Dan Lane. Like, you have a ton of really good wide receiver developers, and there's even more than that. I'm not trying to just single them out and say there's nobody else, but it's Iowa that has the top 10 quarterback according to Rivals. So
Are
I'm
are,
not
are
trying
we
to say
sure that are we sure that there's no like backdoor shenanigans? Like, did someone pull a fast one on him to be like, you should sign with Iowa because they have like an elite passing attack? Like, what did Kirk Ferentz do to pull this off?
listen. He just recruited well. Zach, don't take it away from Kirk Ferentz. I don't know, but I
Sorry,
do think
I'm
it's
gonna
really
put away
interesting.
my retirement tour uh
I
stuff for
I
now.
do think it's interesting, and I do think that this so far has been an enjoyable season for the most part for Iowa
Yeah.
fans. Is it everything you hoped and dreamed it would be? No. Do you still have the opportunity to go 8-4 this season and beat all your rivals? Yes. And you can go to a bowl game, and if you go 9-4 this season with a bowl game win and you beat all your rivals, at the end of the day, who at Iowa is going to complain about that?
Yep.
I'm sure some people will, but if I was an Iowa fan, I would be at least moderately happy with that. It
Yeah.
would not be a failure of a season.
I think that the one failure is the Iowa State loss. But like
Yes, and that's the
everything
one
else,
rival you didn't beat, right?
yeah. But I think and I'm harder on Kirk Ferentz than anybody, right? Like I've had Iowa fans DM me because of how upset they've been with me trashing Kirk Ferentz. But the reason why I trashed him was because he was losing big to all the elite teams, and it felt like he wasn't doing anything to change or to innovate. And I'm like, the dude needs to retire. And I had concerns about the defense. They are they've changed a little bit, and I give them credit for that. And Gronowski, while he hasn't been the guy that I think a lot of people thought he might be, which shouldn't be a shocker because Iowa's not going to change everything about themselves, but he has grown, he's improved. I think the offense has evolved, and they only lost to Indiana by 5. They probably should have beat Indiana.
If Mark Gronowski doesn't get hurt, they may have beat Indiana.
Yeah. They came very close to beating Oregon. They were ahead 21-7 against USC. Like they're competing against the top level teams in the Big 10. And that's all you want. Like that's what you want if you are Iowa. Because if you can compete with them, you can beat them. Like that's I think the lesson to me. Which leads me to my next point. This is what Iowa's done to non-elite teams in the Big 10. 37-0 against Wisconsin. 41-3 against Minnesota. They're going to kill Michigan State because Michigan State stinks. Sorry, Spartans, but they're going to dominate them. It's at home. It's at Kinnick. It's senior day. Goodbye, Sparty. And maybe goodbye, Jonathan Smith.
Yeah, they'll keep him on for one more.
One more
Penn State,
season.
Well, they said Penn State. Who do they play at the end of the season? Who does Michigan play? Michigan State.
Michigan State plays Maryland.
Yeah, he's fired if they lose that.
That might be a battle of who stays one more season.
Well, Mike Locksley got the vote of confidence. Did you hear that?
Do you ever? I don't know. Do you ever buy votes of confidence? I feel like that's like
I do in this era.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Luke Fickell and Mike Locksley are going to be at Maryland and Wisconsin next year. Anyway, we can talk about Maryland when we get to their game. Yes, I tend to agree. Honestly, I don't think there's all that much to talk about in this game. Michigan State stinks. They're continuing to try and switch out Aiden Chiles for Alessio Milovicic. They do not have much of an offensive line. They got up early on Penn State. That were not able to capitalize on that. They scored on their first drive again, but they were not able to capitalize on that. I mean, this is a Michigan State team that can come out hot on offense, some scripted plays and stuff like that, whatever you want to call it. But just throughout the game, they get worn down. They do not have the bodies. They do not have I don't want to insult any of the players, but they just don't have the dudes to be able to go up against some of these Big Ten teams. And when you think Big Ten team, you think of Iowa right now, and that's even with this Iowa team coming off rough games against USC and Oregon. I actually don't think you'll see a complete blowout just because I do think they're beat up from the last 2 weeks. Very tough, very physical games, but I still think Iowa is going to win by multiple scores. I have Iowa winning this game 30-13.
I have 38-10.
That's about the same.
So, yeah.
You got one more touchdown. I have one more field goal for Michigan State. So,
yep.
Yeah. I think Kamari Moulton has a good day. Mark Gronowski obviously does well. And I think the passing game, I think you'll see a better passing game from Iowa. The passing game's gotten better. More screens, better job of getting the ball out. They've utilized Caden Weegan better, And you know what? It could be 38. They could get a kick return for a touchdown against Michigan State.
Yep. Or pick six.
Or a pick six. Yeah, that could happen too. All right.